Let's talk about feet. By far, one of my favorite updates to D&D 5.5 is the introduction and separation of origin feats, as well as other things like changing the fighting style feature to fighting style feats and the introduction of the new epic boon feats. The old 5th edition was clearly lacking something within character creation and advancement, and so they created various means for you to gain a feat right from level 1, whether it was from being a variant human or from several backgrounds. But the problem was that feats range a little bit in power, and so especially with things like the variant human who had open access to literally every feat from level 1, that could get crazy quickly. D&D 5.5 not only solves this with origin feats, but also creates so many new opportunities for new and exciting things as well. Origin feats are now a suite of abilities that exist separate from feats and are a little less powerful and don't give the half ability score improvement that all the other feats now do. So now every character can get one at level 1 via their background and nothing is too overpowered, but humans still get an extra one so they still feel powerful in that respect. But also origin feats can exist beyond character creation for building purposes and not just because you can take them in place of general feats at level 4, 8, and whatnot, but because they can be given out as modular choices through other class features or even just personal boons. The only way that I can think of to do this mechanically is with the Warlock Invocation lessons of the first ones, but even something like that would not have been possible in 5th edition. Warlocks would be way too overpowered if they had access to every single feat in the game every time they got an Eldritch Invocation option, but because they are restricted to just the origin feats, you can have a ton of cool build possibilities while still maintaining a balance. But this can also exist beyond standard character advancement, as a DM, I am always looking for opportunities to give my players mechanical boons throughout a course of a campaign. And giving them an extra feat was a good way to do this, but it still meant they had access to every single feat in the game, no matter how they varied in power, not to mention that some feats gave you ability score improvements and others didn't, so there could be some weirdness with scores there. But an origin feat is a perfect gift to give to a player as a significant reward for completing an equally significant character moment. Imagine a fighter who's been a bit of a slacker their entire lives, but then they go through a story arc where they learn to be more aware of their surroundings and pick up the alert feat. And you can even throw things in there like fighting style feats. Imagine a cleric who just completed a whole arc where they were training with a master swordsman, and instead of them having to take a whole level of fighter or something, you can just give them a fighting style feat. And this continues to be more exciting because as 5.5 has released more stuff, we've seen them experiment even further with how feats are separated with like feat chains. And yes, this is getting closer and closer to how Pathfinder does things, but you've already left the comments, so what am I saying?